Let's dive into a simple but honestly life-changing rule that can completely transform your relationship with money. It's all about stopping those little impulse buys that, just quietly sabotage your savings without you even noticing.
And this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. For so many of us, the real problem isn't how much money we make, but how fast we make our decisions with it. And getting a handle on that is the key to finally understanding why saving can feel so hard.
Okay, so before we jump to the solution, we've got to really diagnose the problem, because the real drain on our wallets is usually something that's kind of working against us in the background, almost invisibly, hiding in our everyday habits.
Sound familiar? You're doing everything right, you're not out there making crazy purchases, but you get to the end of the month and your savings account just hasn't grown. It really feels like you're just treading water, right? And those big goals always feel like they're just a little bit out of reach.
And these are the culprits, those invisible triggers. It's that rough day at work that ends with a little treat-yourself purchase, or that flash sale that creates this totally fake sense of urgency. And maybe the most dangerous one of all, that super smooth one-click checkout, which is literally designed to get rid of any moment of second-guessing.
And yeah, this just says it all. We think we're buying things, but what we're really buying are feelings. A little hit of dopamine, a quick reward, maybe a brief escape from stress. The thing you buy is just the middleman.
So what this really all boils down to is that the enemy of your savings account isn't the price tag. Nope. It's the pressure from the outside world and from inside our own heads to deciding to buy right now, before we even have a chance to think.
Okay, so enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. And the good news is it's actually incredibly simple. It's one clear rule that builds a much-needed buffer between your emotions and your wallet.
So here it is, the 72-hour rule. It's this simple. For any non-essential purchase over a certain amount, let's just say $50 for now, you have to wait 3 full days before you can buy it. You're not saying no, you're just saying not yet. That's the whole rule. No complicated spreadsheets, just a pause.
And there's a really fascinating reason why this works. In those first 24 hours, you're riding a wave of emotion, a dopamine rush from seeing something you want. By day 2, your brain starts trying to justify that feeling. But by the 72-hour mark, that emotional fog has almost always lifted. Logic and clarity start to creep back in.
And that is the entire goal. You're basically shifting the decision from that impulsive, I want it now part of your brain to the part that handles rational thought and long-term planning. You are, in short, taking back control.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Because when you apply this rule over and over again, it does more than just save you some money. It actually changes your identity.
This slide just captures that shift perfectly. You go from being reactive, pulled around by every flash sale and Instagram ad, to being intentional. You move from being driven by emotion to a place of calm, clear-headed decision-making. And that little bit of guilt that follows an impulse buy, it gets replaced by this genuine pride in your own self-control.
Man, this is such a powerful way to reframe things. It means that financial freedom is something you can start building today, right now, without making a single extra dollar. It all starts with the simple act of waiting.
Okay, let's walk through a quick example that I think we can all relate to. Imagine you see a brand new gadget. It looks amazing, it promises to make your life so much easier, and hey, it's $300.
So you add it to your cart, you're about to click buy, but then you remember the rule, and you wait. 3 days go by, you look at it again, and that initial buzz, that excitement, it's kind of worn off. You realize it was a want, not a need, and your life's going to be just fine without it.
And here's where the real magic happens. That $300 is now free to do something else. So instead of buying a temporary thrill, it can buy you something way more valuable, security. You put it in your emergency fund, and that in turn reduces your stress and helps you sleep better at night.
And this is the real victory. It's not just about the money you saved. It's the powerful feeling of knowing that you are in the driver's seat of your financial life, not some fleeting impulse.
Now, the beauty of this whole idea is how flexible it is. You can, and you really should, tweak it to fit your own life and your own goals. You can even level up the rule and create a system like this. For smaller temptations under $50, maybe a 24-hour pause is all you need. For bigger ticket items over $300, you could even extend the wait to a full week. This turns a simple rule into a whole sustainable system.
And I really want to be clear here. This rule is not about depriving yourself. It's about being intentional. If you wait the full 72 hours and you still genuinely want and can't afford the item, then buy it.
and you can buy it with total confidence, completely free of any of that buyer's remorse.
This quote just cuts right to the heart of it. Yeah, more money is great, but building the skill of resistance, the simple ability to just pause and think, is a way more powerful tool for building wealth because it protects every single dollar you already have.
So, here's a challenge. Just try this for 1 month, 30 days. Apply the 72-hour rule to every single non-essential purchase. And at the end, ask yourself, how much more is in your savings account? How much less financial stress are you feeling? And maybe most importantly, who have you become?
And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Real financial freedom isn't just about having a ton of money, it's about having control over your choices. And that freedom? Well, it begins with a simple, powerful decision to just wait.